So Mr. Soap and Clay folded laundry most recently because I don't have time to do anything right now. I don't sleep. It's the holiday season and it's crazy. But anyway, so he did laundry, which is very nice. He folded the clothing. And by fold, I mean he does really strange things with the folding process. Like this hoodie, you can't see it because it's not low enough with the camera, but it's like a cropped hoodie with a tie. And he tied the bottom before hanging it up. And so I spent like 5 minutes trying to pull this hoodie on just so I could have a shirt to film this video. So thank you, Mr. Soap and Clay, for the help. And you're welcome for me being able to find a shirt so I'm not shirtless. Shirts have nothing to do with today's video, but you know, when do my random ramblings have anything to do with anything at all? But before I tell you about today's video, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudzers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 253 of 365 days of soap, and that's getting cuckoo bananas in and of itself, right? We're only like just over 100 days away from the end of year one, which is mind-blowing for me, really. And yeah, today we are making another Disney-inspired soap. We are making Megara from Hercules, which is super cool. Now, for Hercules, that is the Soaprentice's favorite Disney movie ever. Megara is her favorite Disney princess. And so you would think that Georgia May would be doing the Megara soap, but not so. Not so. She's doing the accompaniment bar for this one, and it's going to be really awesome because everything that Georgia May does is. So I was in charge of Megara. Now, it's kind of a bad idea for multiple reasons. And the first reason is I don't love Megara as much as Georgia May does, so there's that. But two, me and purples don't get along, and Megara has a beautiful purple dress, like it's gorgeous. And so I was real nervous going into this, and since she was going to be my biggest critic through all of this, I really wanted the design to be on point, and I wanted to make sure that we got that purple really dialed in. So let's go check out the Megara pour, and you can tell me whether or not I screwed it up.
You know, the most ridiculous part about that sweatshirt story is that I spent 5 minutes trying to figure out why it wasn't going on. And I'm thinking, as I'm stuck in this thing, did it shrink? Did I gain weight? What's happening? Because I'm such a moron. But yeah, so today we are making Megara. Now, Megara is kind of a difficult one for me because this is Georgia May's favorite princess, right? Like across the board, Georgia May loves Megara more than any other Disney princess, but she decided to do the accompaniment bar for all of this. And so I was like, okay, cool. So that means that I have to do Megara, like your favorite princess? And she's like, yeah, you'll be fine. It'll be good. And so that's what I'm doing. And that's problematic for like 2 reasons, right? Because I don't do purples well. Me and purple, we don't get along. And 2, Georgia will be my biggest critic. So yeah, I'm kind of nervous. And look at that. See how it's separating? I do not have an emulsion yet. We're still going to work on that. Looking for emulsification there. Now, with this, I wanted to do Megara's dress because, again, beautiful purple dress, so gorgeous, such a gorgeous dress. It's very distinct purple color, And so that's what we are going to be doing for the main body of the bar. There'll be dark purple, light purple kind of swirl going on. And then I am going to be using those embeds that I showed earlier to kind of add some structure to the bar, but also so it like represents columns, right? Like Greek and Roman columns. I say Greek and Roman because like lots of similarities as far as like actual columns are concerned between the two, but then also for Hercules, it's a Greek story and a Roman story. And it's all a little bit confusing around the whole thing, right? Because like there are pieces of the Roman version of Hercules in the movie Hercules, and there are pieces of the Greek. Did I just say Greek? There's pieces of them both within the Disney movie. And so they just kind of like merged the storylines and then changed it all at the end because like, you know, that's what you do. Disney doesn't just let the real end be the thing because like most of them are sad. Like the original Snow White or the original Little Mermaid, yeah, those are very sad endings. That's terrible. So yeah, no, everything, you know, buttons up nicely and happily, and everything's neat and orderly and organized and all the things. And so that's, you know, Disney. That's not me though in soap making. I'm not neat or orderly or organized or whatever when I actually start making soap. I'm just a disaster. So I imagine that all of this purple will be spilled on the counter pretty soon because it's a gorgeous purple. And so of course I should do something to mess it all up because I got a good purple, which means, yeah, spilling it seems likely. I don't spill it. I don't do that. I don't know why I said that. It's not like some sort of weird like, oh, foreshadowing thing. No, legit, I don't spill it. So good for that. But yeah, so the scent blend that's going into this is an almond and raspberry blend, which is so good. And I found it fitting with the almonds. And again, we're doing Greek and Roman mythology. And so that totally fits because yes. And the raspberries because A, it's a delightful blend. And two, I don't know, I wanted something kind of purplish in the whole thing. And so that's how I got that. And it's really good blend though. I'm loving this. I don't normally like almond in much of anything because I've never really understood why people are so obsessed with it. But mixed with this raspberry, so delightful. Let's go check out this pour and see what I come up with. And on to the pour, but while we are watching me do this, you know, swirly swirl thing and put the embeds on and, you know, all the jazz, I feel like we need to talk about something. I mean, maybe you don't need to talk about something, but I do, and you know, it's my channel, so I'm gonna do the thing. Oh my God, Taylor Swift's new album. Which again has nothing to do with Disney, except the folklore thing was out on Disney Plus, and so now they're related. See, there's a reason. Boom. There's a reason for me to talk about this today. But the new album, Evermore. Oh my God, that is ridiculous. Have you heard it? What are your thoughts? I am still processing, right? Like it came out yesterday at like midnight or whatever, and I have listened to it 14 or 15 times straight through since it came out. And we've been having interesting conversations about it, right? Because Mr. Soap and Clay thinks it's good, great even, but not better than, oh, look at me, I am just a disaster. See, I mean, something has to go wrong. Yeah. But Mr. Soap and Clay likes it. He thinks it's great, but not as good as Folklore. Folklore hits harder for him. And George May has said that this one is that Evermore is better at telling a story and painting a picture in your head. And she hasn't really actually weighed in on whether, you know, she likes it better than, right? And for me, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still processing, but I've basically spent the last 36-ish hours just like bawling, like just crying, because that's all the things. It's such a good album, and I am here for it. I'm so excited. I've been so excited. Now I have to make new soap, right? I finished the thing, the Lover House. Well, I mean, Georgia May painted the Lover House and did the thing, but I made all the soaps and we sent them off to T-Swizzle. And, you know, I mean, she hasn't said anything. I mean, I don't think that she would ever say anything, but, you know, regardless, I get to make a new soap. I have to figure out the right soap for Evermore now, which is kind of complicated because there's a lot going on in Evermore, and it's beautiful. She has some like country music throwbacks, right? Some like Two Black Cadillac, Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, Goodbye Earl-esque songs about, you know what those songs are about. And yeah, it's so that was cool. So seeing there's a couple country, you know, songs on the album, so that was awesome. And oh god, the song Marjorie, the one that she wrote for her grandma, like, stop it. I'm dying. I have listened to that song legit 8 times this morning, and I just cry every time because today I want to cry, and so I do that because that's what is making me cry right now, because it's like my grandma, and, you know, with me and around everywhere and all of the things. And so it's been such a beautiful experience experiencing this new album. And this pour here, also beautiful experience, except did you notice that I didn't actually have enough of the embeds there to go the length of the mold? Yeah, so they don't all get, you know, the top on them. Not all the soaps will have that. And that's just me. Really, I'm probably just distracting and talking about T-Swizzle because this bar, again, it was very nerve-wracking for me to do this because I didn't want to mess up Megara, because Georgia May loves Megara, and Megara is super cool, right? She's very show me the independent type, right? And, you know, she's got a cool spirit and spunk and personality and all the things to her, and so that's awesome. I like that. But like, how even do you capture that in a bar? And so again, I kind of went back to the dress, but I also did again want to lend to the mythology, so that's why the embeds went in to do the like columns, right? Because there was a part in like the Gospel Truth song at the very beginning, or maybe throughout the movie, where they're singing and they like knock over like columns, which is cool. I mean, I think that actually happened a couple times in the movie, so I'm like, yeah, the columns, let's do that. Now, this bit is for Megara's hair because she has very distinctive hair, right? It's not just red and it's not just brown, it's very cool colored hair. And so this is my red blend, which is either Angry Rose or Merlot, depending on what I have in stock, plus some orange, whatever I have. And I think like right now this is like a sunset orange, and that's it actually to create this cool, beautiful reddish brown thing. So yes, and now it's gonna go over, there's gonna be a layer of that, and then we're going to put the copper for like the band in her hair for her big high ponytail, and then the rest of the red is my plan with all this. And I don't know, we'll see if it all works out. This was it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. And I think this is like one of the reasons why I didn't have Georgia May do any of the Taylor Swift bars. A, because I'm owning that. And 2, because I don't want to put her into that position of absolute stress. Like, Georgia May likes Taylor Swift, right? But I think mostly she likes Taylor Swift these days because I almost insist on it. Like, I just randomly ask people when they come into the shop these days, do you like Taylor Swift? Have you heard her new album? And that was before Evermore came out, and so now it's for both. Have you heard Folklore? Have you heard Evermore? Like, it's just, I'm crazy when it comes to T-Swizzle. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, guys. It's I'm all over the board with all of this, like the Disney stuff. Let's talk about Hercules, and cool, Hercules is awesome. It's a really great movie, and it's a lot of fun, and I really like that Gospel Truth song. That's really awesome. And, you know, you have Pain and Panic, and Hades and the satyr. What is his name? Phil? It's a fun movie for sure. Hercules is kind of all right, but like all of the supporting cast in the whole thing, they're the ones that I like the most out of that whole movie. All of the supporting cast. And so it's cool because look, Megara, supporting cast. But yeah, like I should be talking about that. But my brain right now is going, yeah, sure, Hercules, but Taylor Swift. Oh my God, why are you not talking about this? And now I have a new audience to talk about it with right here, you on the YouTube, because everyone in my life is already tired of hearing about it probably. I mean, I don't know that that's really true. I think Mr. Soap and Clay and I will spend another night by the fire pit tonight, at the fire pit tonight, listening to it again and just, you know, talking about specifically the album. So I don't think he's actually tired of it, but at this exact moment, he's outside putting new doors on the pontoon, which is not what you think it is, but it's not an actual pontoon, but yes. And so he doesn't care. He doesn't have time to stop and like chit chat about how awesome Taylor Swift is right now with me, because he has to work while the sun is in the sky and doing the things. And so that's what he's doing, and that's great. But yeah, no, I think I have you guys to talk to right now about Taylor Swift, and go listen to the album, and then we should have conversations in the comments, because there have to be other people out there, and I'm thinking of some sudsers specifically that I know are big Taylor Swift fans that are going to have opinions on this album. I think my only like grievance with this album is that she swears in almost every song. And I mean, I'm not really one to talk because like every 7th word that comes out of my mouth is profanity. But it feels weird coming from her, because she spent like, you know, 6, 7 albums not swearing at all, and all of a sudden it's, oh, in every damn song. Okay, it's all a thing, but that's like it. That's like the most minor thing ever. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of work and a gorgeous follow-up to Folklore. And this bar is also like no problems, right? Everything looked really good. It went really well, and I think that purple might actually stay, and so I am going to put it in the oven for C-pop and gel to make sure that purple does survive, and then we will, you know, cut into it and see what we are working with inside and how my columns turned out and all of the things. And on to the cut, and that when I first saw this soap, I was so concerned because I didn't see like any purple anywhere. All I saw was like burnt ready orange. I didn't see the purple that should exist throughout this whole thing. I was freaked out when I opened this up. Like, what happened? How was it possible that beautiful purple turned all red and awful? And I mean, red is great, but I wanted purple. And so, yeah. And I was big nervous when I cut into this, but look, purple. Hey, it's a thing. Check it out. That's beautiful. Look at that. And that's the side that doesn't have the top of the column thingy on it, because I didn't have enough embed to go through the whole thing. But that's super cute. I really like how the middle layer of the red of the hair kind of does a swoopy swoop thing. So it's like, you know, like a widow's peak, or like when you bind your hair in a high ponytail or whatever. There's movement. That's cool. It's not just a straight line, which is good. Because you know that I don't like straight lines anyway. Like in general, I'm not good at them. So when I have an excuse for the not straight line, like, oh, that was intentional. Look, see? Yay! The purple turned out really good, though. I think that's a beautiful color for the dress. And I actually sent Georgia May a picture of this, or she had seen it at the shop or something, and I asked her what she thought. And she, you know, she gave me the appropriate, it's great, it's awesome, it's whatever. And, you know, I mean, maybe she believes that, but also, I mean, I pay her, so maybe she's just stroking my ego. I hope she doesn't do that. That would be gross. But yeah, that's she said she liked it, and so that's good. I didn't mess it up, because I would have been super sad if I'd messed it up for Georgia May and her favorite princess and all the things. But yeah, I love it. The scent blend on this is so delightful. The almond and the raspberry together, So good. And I feel like it really fits like a mythological story really well for some weird reason. And so, yeah, I can roll with that. I'm going to call that one a success. That is a day 253, the Megara soap, and Georgia May will be tackling the accompaniment bar actually later today because that's how the schedule all worked out.
No, I didn't screw it up. Crazy person. I wouldn't do that. Usually. Most of the time I don't screw things up. But sometimes it happens. And yeah, that was the Megara soap. And I actually love that purple. That purple was so good. And the columns that I tried to put into it, I mean, it ultimately worked. But when I asked Mr. Soap and Clay what Disney princess it was, he said Mulan because it reminded him of something Chinese in nature. And I'm like, well, I don't know. So you let me know. Did the columns work? Did they not work? I mean, if there's a band around it that says Megara, ultimately it totally works. The scent blend was spot on for that too. I really liked mixing the almond with a really nice raspberry because yes, and it is absolutely delightful. If you are interested in the Megara soap, you can totally find it on the website. It is at soapandclay.com along with all the other soapy things. And yeah, so if you want to see what Georgia May does for the accompaniment bar to the Megara, you should subscribe to the channel. You could click that word, maybe it's there, the word, and yeah, come join us for another round and you can see what she comes up with. For those of you who continue to join us for days of soap rounds, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate each and every one of you so unbelievably much. And that does it for me today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye.